the problems that exist in the world because we don't know the Father. And Baba says that, we are into this us and them because we don't know we are children of one Baba. If we knew that we are all children of one parent, our Father is one, then we would also be in harmony with each other, because knowing the parent would also help us be in brotherhood with each other. Yes, who do you protect and care and love? That which is yours. And who do you harm? That which is not yours. And how do we come to this awareness that this is mine and that is not mine? When we see ourselves in physical limitations, so when we are limited by the body, when we are in the consciousness of the body, then we are in this us and them. Yes, my religion, not my religion. My brother, sister, not my brother, sister. My family, not my family. Yes, my colleague, not my colleague. So Baba says that when we are limited by this body consciousness, we come into this us and them. And then what we do is, we are loveful, peaceful, adjusting, tolerating towards that which we say is us. And then towards them, I have an antagonistic attitude. I hurt, harm everybody who is not us. So Baba says that if at all every soul in the world understood that there is no us and them, we are all children of the same parent, and we are brothers and sisters to each other, we are all brother souls to each other, then nobody would harm anybody, because then we will know that being the children of one parent, we are a whole big world family, and nobody harms his family. Do you harm your family? You protect your family, you care for your family. But the thing is, we love our family, but we are not in awareness that this whole world is a family, and we are all children of the same parent. So our love has become so limited, and hatred has grown so much. And today Baba says that if Muhammad Ghaznavi knew that this was Allah's temple, so that Somnath Baba is Baba, and it's that same God which we are worshipping in different forms in different religions. So if at all this was clear to everybody that it is that same God and we are his children, then would the temple be looted, or would there be this attack on the temple of his Allah? That won't happen, because this is this realization that we don't have, that this is my Father's temple, and even if I am worshipping him by some other name, it is my Father that is being worshipped, and this temple belongs to my Baba. And then also about this universal sense of love also, because it's not just restricted to one temple or religion, but in any case, whenever we come into this us and them, then we restrict our love to us and our hatred is extended to them. But when we understand this one thing, knowing the Father brings brotherhood into humanity. So realizing Shiv Baba makes you realize that everyone is Shiv Baba's child. And in the soul world, we are one big family. Yes, there is no distinction on the basis of, being physically born in one family or no. We are one big family anyway. So whether we are connected here by blood or not, doesn't matter. So as souls, we are all one big family. So Baba says, if the world knew Baba, then this universal brotherhood and this sense of belonging and love to every soul could be realized. So this is something that Baba tells us today. And then Baba today is giving us the inspiration to be merciful and to serve everybody and give them the Father's introduction and uplift their consciousness of who they are, because the most important thing is consciousness, and we are limited in that because we don't know Baba. So we are limited by in our consciousness because we define ourselves by what I have and what I do. Yes, so whatever I practice, whatever role I am in, whatever position I am in, whatever attainments physically I have, I define myself according to that. And because I define myself according to that, my consciousness is low. Yes, so people use this word. So when somebody has less wealth, they will say, I'm a small man. Yes, I'm a small person. So less wealth means you're a small person. Or if I'm in a little position in the company, then I'm a small person. So, but then Baba says that no, that's just your context of operation. You might be doing one job or the other job, or you might be living in one society or the other society, or you might have this much money or that much money. But you are not defined by that. That doesn't define you. This is something that we need to understand. Everybody needs to understand. And we are defined by our reality. And in our reality, I am God's child. I might be in any place, doing any job, in a male body, female body, in a dark body, fair body, whatever, the physical appearance could be anything, the wealth could be anything, less wealth, more wealth, less position, more position in the society, doesn't matter. You are not defined by that. So every soul is defined by his parent, and the parent is Baba. So I'm still the child of the Almighty, and I have access to His peace, His love, His happiness. I am a happy and peaceful soul. That is my birthright. I have the access to Baba's knowledge. I have the openness, I have the opportunity to create my fortune because Baba is willing to teach me as his child. So Baba says every soul needs to understand knowledge. Do you understand that? Every soul needs to understand the truth, because it is the truth that will set you free. So we are all living in bondage of our limited consciousness, and we think small of ourselves, we think powerless of ourselves. Yes, the whole world is suffering from that. It's all there in the consciousness, and according to that, you're focusing on something, or your mind is creating those thoughts. But it's basically about your sense of self, your sense of your worth, your sense of your value. And Baba says that it is very, very important that every soul realizes himself by knowing the Father. because until we know Baba, until we start listening to Baba's Murli, we will not know ourselves. We will only know what the world has told us about ourselves. And in reality, I am a peaceful, worthy, loveful, happy, powerful being. But then where is the realization? There is no realization. That is why the soul creates thoughts, feelings which are very against its very nature. But Baba says that you have to do this seva because every soul is in darkness. They don't know the Father, they don't know themselves, they don't know their powers, they don't know their qualities, they don't know their worth. Yes, they don't know how that they have the capacity to transform the world, not just themselves. So Baba says every soul needs to be told this. Every soul needs to be introduced to Baba, and every soul needs to know who they are, who their Father is. But are we that full of compassion? That's the question, because doing this seva is not easy. So you have to partake something of your time or thought or energy or wealth, and only then can this seva be done. Seva doesn't happen on its own. Yes, somebody has to invest his life, his time, his wealth, his energy. Only then seva will happen. So am I compassionate enough to partake of some of the time and thought and energy and money that I have, so that this world seva can happen? Because if I really understand, so once somebody asked me, why did you take this up, so take this seva up or take this life up with so much dedication? And I told them, I believe in the cause. So this cause, that humanity needs this, the whole world needs this, knowing themselves through their Father. This is something that every soul needs to know. And Baba says that you have to have so much mercy and compassion to do this seva. And those who waste their time, waste their thought, waste their money, they cannot do seva, because resources are needed for seva. And Baba today says that you should have the intention, you should know that even after my job, even after this 8 hours of service that I do, I have to do some seva. And I remember, that when I used to do office, at that time, I was always aware that in that whole time I was in office, I was very aware that when I go back to the center, I have to take a class. And when I have to take a class, that's a spiritual class. And I have to be spiritually available for that. So I have to be my peaceful, pure, happy self, knowledgeful self when I reach and take that class. Because spiritual seva needs spiritual presence. You cannot just speak and not be available with your peace and purity there. So because I always had this awareness that when I reach the center, I have to do this. So all through the day, many things happened in the office. But then I never let go of my peace, or never allowed anything to taint my feelings, because I had to keep my feelings pure. Or I never allowed any concern, any worry to enter my inner world, because I had this awareness that I am Baba's instrument. And Baba says that if you realize that you are Baba's instrument, And even if your seva is not about words, it's everybody doesn't have to always do seva with words. But then do you understand that you are a sevadhari and everyone around you is being nurtured by you? So you are the one giving the energy, creating the environment. So Baba says that if you always have attention on this goal, on this aim, and you have the realization that you are God's instrument, then you will be able to stay introverted and let go of anything and everything that is negative and is affecting your inner world all day, because you have that aim. Have you seen that if you have to give your time somewhere, yes, so maybe you have to reach somewhere and spend 1 hour after the day is over. So then during the day you are very particular about the time. Yes, you don't lose out even on a minute, because you know that 9 o'clock at night I have to reach there. So you have to reach there 9 o'clock in the night. But then all day you are paying attention to the watch, to the clock. Why? Because you know that if you waste 5 minutes here, then you will reach late there. Yes. So Baba says that if you understand, if you can see that I have to be available with my peace and purity all the time, then in every second of your day, every second of your life, you will pay attention to not losing your peace, your purity, your happiness. And you will also not waste your time if you understand that even your mind does seva. So even when you're thinking and your thoughts are pure, at that time that seva is happening. So you will have so much of attention on your time, your thought, your money, everything, because you understand that your resources are for seva and you will not waste them. So this is something that Baba is underlining today. And then Baba is also saying that we have to be compassionate. We have to understand the importance of, explaining to souls and also clarifying those things where they are not clear. So Baba points out many things today which need to be explained, and so I will talk about some of them. So Baba says, talk about the difference between Hatha Yoga and Raj Yoga. Yes, because what's the problem? People have no idea what yoga is. So they are chanting in the name of yoga, they are exercising in the name of yoga, but what they are not doing is yoga. So Baba says, define for everybody that Raj Yoga is yoga of the soul with God, and God is the source, the ocean. And when the soul is connected with Baba, then you draw into yourself the knowledge, the peace, the purity, and tell them how God has come and He is sitting in Brahma Baba's body and teaching you Raj Yoga. Because I have seen that when we, recently there was this project that we were thinking about in the Yajna also, and we were trying to get some approval from the ministry so that Raj Yoga is accepted as a practice. But what happens is, there is a lot of confusion in the terminology, and then mostly when you talk about yoga, it moves to the benefits of physical yoga or the benefits of chanting. But until and unless, at the ministry level also everybody get it, that it is different from that. So even if you work for it, and even if you work for establishing the credibility and the importance of yoga, you have to make a distinction that we are not talking about Hatha yoga here. We are not talking about yoga of the body. We are talking about yoga that the soul has with Shiv Baba. And that is a very big task, because these terms, meditation, yoga, they are very generic these days and nobody really knows what they mean. And Baba says that, okay, Hatha yoga is good for physical health, but it has got nothing to do with getting something from Baba. So it's not about connecting to Supreme Consciousness. Yes, Hatha yoga is good for physical health. Exercise is good, but that's the benefit, not more than that. Yes, if somebody tells you that Hatha yoga will make you peaceful, no. You are not peaceless because you're not sitting straight. You are peaceless because you're not thinking straight. And your thinking will not improve if you sit in 5 different postures. Your thinking is a product of your sense of who you are, your sense of who you belong to, your sense of purpose of life. And even in the face of a situation or in the face of a behavior, the way you think doesn't have anything to do with the situation or the behavior. The way you think is always related to your sense of self. You think as you are, not as they are. That's the truth. You always think as you are. And you have to know who you are, because if we are living with a false sense of self, then I will always think the way I am, because I have this false sense of self. So if I think that I can be insulted, then I will be insulted. Yes, but if I understand that I am beyond fame and defamation, I am a soul. Yes, nobody can praise me, nobody can defame me. I am who I am. Yes, can anybody add stars to your being by praising you? No, you will still be who you are. Even if they honored you with sashes and badges and crowns and titles, you will still be you. So you are not somebody who can be enhanced by fame or reduced by defamation. You will always be you. But the thing is, do I know myself? And am I working on myself? So Baba says that you always think as you are. But until and unless I know who I am, or how I am defined, or who I really am, I will always react and respond to the external stimuli. And I will think that it is about that, but it is about me. Because the way I think about myself is that I'm prone to that attack. So if you think you're prone to attack, you can be attacked. If you think you're vulnerable, you will be vulnerable. But if you think that I am deathless, I am beyond fame, defamation, I am beyond hot and cold, I am beyond happiness and sorrow, then you will be beyond that. So Baba says, tell everybody the difference between Hatha Yoga and Raj Yoga. Raj Yoga is taught by God. And do you know that there was this book issued by the government when there was this yoga day, first yoga day we celebrated, and there was this booklet which the government issued, and in that booklet it was written that the first one who taught yoga was Shiva. Shiva is the Adi Yogi and he teaches yoga. But that's the problem, we read these things, but then we say Shiva is Shankar, and then we say that Shankar taught physical yoga, but Baba says, no, Shiv Baba is just a point of light. He doesn't have a body, he cannot teach you physical exercise. Yes, so Baba doesn't have a body, he doesn't teach physical exercise. Baba is the Supreme Soul, he is the master of the Man Buddhi Sanskar, he is the ocean of virtues and powers, and the yoga he teaches is how to be a master of Man Buddhi Sanskar and how to be in your virtues and powers. That's the yoga that Baba teaches, because Shiva will teach a yoga, Shiv Baba will teach yoga which makes someone like him, and he doesn't have a body. So what kind of yoga he teaches, what do we gain by that connection with Shiv Baba? We become like him, which is the master of the Man Buddhi Sanskar and the master ocean of virtues and powers. So Baba says it is very important that the world understands that what we are doing is not chanting or Hatha Yoga. It is Raj Yoga which Shiv Baba himself is teaching. And the Adi Yogi is not a yogi. He is not a yogi. He doesn't become a yogi. He only teaches yoga. And Baba has never told about, his title being Adi Yogi. So this is also a word that we have coined. So Baba says, I am the supreme teacher. I teach you yoga. I don't do yoga. I'm not a yogi. I teach you yoga to connect with me and become like me. I don't have to connect with anyone because I am myself the ocean. So Baba says that tell everybody this difference between what is Hatha Yoga, what is Raj Yoga, and it is Raj Yoga that has been celebrated as the highest form of yoga. So do you know that in the Gita also it is written that through Raj Yoga you become a king, Rajaon ka Raja. Yes, so there is a yoga which makes us the king, and the world has heard about it. This is not first time. The only thing is we know it, they don't know it, but there is a yoga which when we learn, then we become the master of the world. And Baba says that is not Hatha Yoga, that is not chanting. That is this Raj Yoga that I come and teach you. And knowing yourself, knowing the Father, and seeing yourself as Baba's child, not defining yourself the way you have been defined for so many ages and years. Baba says that is Raj Yoga, and you need to tell the world that there is a difference. And then Baba today says that tell the difference between Nark and Swarg, between heaven and hell. So what is the primary difference between heaven and hell? In heaven also you have happiness, in hell also you have happiness, don't you? Yes, but in hell you are a slave, and in heaven you are a master. So a slave also experiences happiness sometimes, but he is at mercy. So if kisi ki daya hui, to he will experience something, right? So we are also at mercy these days. So when our eyes are quenched, ears are quenched, we eat something nice, we have some good physical sensation, some good memory comes up, some good future, something that we desire and it looks like getting fulfilled, we experience happiness. Somebody is talking sweetly, somebody is behaving nicely, we will be in happiness. But that happiness is the happiness of a slave. That happiness we experience at the mercy of external factors. And in Satyug also we have happiness. But that's the happiness of a master. You are always happy. And here we are, so when I have seen, there was this one person, he brought a very costly phone, and they were very happy because that phone was bought, and they had planned for months together to get that phone. And then when they brought the phone, they were getting down from the cab and the phone fell and it broke that same day. And then that wailing and crying happened for another, I think, 6 days, 7 days. It went on. My phone, my phone, my phone. And you see that this is how it is. So we are a slave. So the phone makes you happy, the phone takes your happiness away. Yes, somebody's words make you happy, somebody's words take away your happiness. So that is not Satyug. Satyug, we are a master. Master of our peace, master of our happiness, master of our senses, everything. So Baba says, tell the difference between Nark and Swarg to everybody. There are lots of differences. Just think about it, churn on it, and explain to everybody. And ask them, would they like to go to Satyug? So if they like being a master, then tell them the method that you have to stop. You have to be in this world, but not remember this world. Be in this world, not invest in this old world. Invest your body, mind and wealth in the creation of the new world. And that's how you claim a right to the new world. Yes, the creator always has a claim to the creation, doesn't he? If you create something, you already are a claimant. So Baba says, you create the new world and you rule there. I don't mind. But the thing is, you have to convince everybody that Satyug is the happy world, this is hell, and if you want to go to heaven, then invest in the creation of heaven. Withdraw your body, mind and wealth from the old world and start investing your time, thought, energy, money into creating the new world. Only then will you move into heaven. And then Baba today says, explain the difference between, first is introduce Shiv Baba. So give the full introduction of Shiv Baba. Who he is, where he lives, how he comes, how he showers us with his gifts of knowledge, blessings, everything, and how we can take our inheritance from him by belonging to him, surrendering to his teachings. So Baba says, give the full introduction of Shiv Baba to everybody. So Baba tells us to explain many things to everybody, and then Baba says, tell the difference between Sri Krishna and Shiv Baba, and prove that a physical being doesn't recite the Gita. So Gita is taught by the incorporeal Shiv Baba. So Baba is telling us to pay attention to all these things, and then Baba asks a question at the end of the Murli. Baba says, does Shiv Baba have a father and mother? So our first response is no. Yes, he is the Supreme Father, so no father for him. But today Baba says, yes, he has a father and mother. And who is the father and mother? We children. So Baba says this is a very interesting relationship. So in the world, when there is a parent, then the child is a child and the parent is a parent. That relationship cannot be reversed. Yes. So you see there are two brothers. So a brother relationship can be reversed. You can be a brother to your brother. Right? He can be a brother to you and you can be a brother to him. But this child and parent relationship cannot be reversed in the world. But with Shiv Baba, this relationship is reversed. Baba says, You are my child. I surrender to you. I give everything that I have to you. But you can also make me your child. And you can also surrender everything to me. And Baba says, this is not even optional. You have to. Because if you don't make me your child, you cannot become my child. So this is a very interesting relationship we have, that in order to take the inheritance from Shiv Baba, we have to make Shiv Baba our child. So Baba says, Baba doesn't have a teacher, doesn't have a Satguru, but even Shiv Baba has parents, and Baba says, you make me your child and I will surrender everything to you. So Baba says, this is a two-way relationship. We are his children, he is mine. So that's an interesting thing that Baba says. And then today Baba in the slogan says, to harmonize your ideas with the ideas of others and to give respect to everyone is the way to be worthy of receiving respect. So Baba says, you want respect, you give respect. Yes, but how do you give respect? So when do you withdraw respect? When the other one is different from you. So there is basically nobody is better or worse or right or wrong, but every soul is unique, every soul is different from each other. And when we harmonize ourselves with others, that is, we accept the differences, we are not judgmental about the differences, then we can keep our respect intact for everyone. So, somebody thinks differently, behaves differently, acts differently, has a different way of doing things. That doesn't make them inferior to you. So, harmonize by accepting the way they are, and when you start accepting, then that respect is not compromised. And when you respect somebody, they also respect you back. And when there is this mutual respect, then there is a very good exchange of energy. And in that exchange of energy, communication happens. And I think, and this is my experience, that the problems of the whole world can be solved through efficient communication. So you want anybody to be on the same page with you, they will be. But the key is efficient communication. But the efficiency of the communication depends on mutual respect. And mutual respect depends on the soul conscious vision, where you understand that every soul is respectable despite the differences that we have with each other. So this is something that Baba says in the slogan. Okay, Om Shanti.